Welcome to You Have Been Watching, the show that watches TV so you don't have to, apart from this bit, obviously. We'll be looking at TV in a week when Piers Morgan has said he would love to conduct a 16-hour interview with former President George W. Bush. That's going to be hard. What do you ask a monster like that? What's it like working with Amanda Holden? Hunky actor Gary Lucy is to leave the bill after 3.5 years on the show. The bill will never be the same again. It will, however, be very, very similar. It's been revealed that Simon Cowell won't be signing Britain's Got Talent winners' diversity. It's a massive blow for the dance troupe, but still they can take comfort from the fact that they'll be supporting Michael Jackson for all of his 50 dates at the O2 Centre. So as long as he didn't die 5 weeks ago, they'll be laughing. Jeremy Clarkson got in trouble for using the C word to describe Gordon Brown during the warm-up for Top Gear. Jeremy Clarkson attacking Gordon Brown. That's very much a case of the calling the kettle a Anyway, you sycophants. Joining me on the show this week are Martin Freeman, Lisa Tarbuck, and Reginald D. Hunter. This week we asked you and our guests to watch Casualty. Its heady blend of gore and human interest bullshit has kept it in the schedules for 23 years. And the current series ended its 48-episode run this week with a 2-part finale. Now, if you didn't see it, I don't want to spoil it for you. That's the writer's job. Let's take a look.
BBC One's hospital corridor blood and ham epic Casualty is the world's longest-running and most middle-class medical emergency drama. It's famous for 2 things. First, its amusingly implausible health and safety record, and its unamusingly plausible commitment to accurate medical procedure, i.e. lengthy scenes of jargon which might as well be conducted in machine code.
Probably a flail segment. Let's prep a chest strain test. We get chest x-rays and facial views, please.
Get on to Max Facts.
What? This being finale week, things were more predictably melodramatic than ever as Dr. Him off EastEnders left to enjoy his inoperable brain tumour. A coach full of wooden actors got realistically pinged over by an angry car, and Curtis the nice paramedic saved his bride-to-be by bundling a baddie off a roof and into Deadland. Oh, look, it's so sad they daren't even show emotion on their faces. Boo-hoo, Casualty, boo-hoo!
Casualty there. Casualty. It's like Holby City for people who prefer Casualty.
Do you know what? I'm going to have to speak in its defence because I think, strangely, I was very much taken by how well it's shot. I think visually it's pretty good. And I think the location manager needs a pat on the back.
Well, he certainly managed to find the fictional town of Holby. No, actually, that's a good point, because Holby is meant to be Bristol, I think, generally.
OK.
But the accents come from all over. I mean, literally, you'll have sort of a Bristolian talking to somebody from Yorkshire, and nobody comments on it at all.
As if that would happen. People from different regions speaking to each other.
Well, it's unrealistic.
Yeah, that's mental.
It doesn't happen. It simply doesn't happen. I watched an old episode of Casualty. It's a bit of research. I went back into the archive, watched an old episode of Casualty from the 80s, and it was a completely different show, and now it's a sort of cartoon about doctors fucking in cupboards.
Yeah.
What was it like, the 80s one? How was it different?
Well, it had an opinion, and as a finale, 2 of the staff had a wheelchair race, and then Charlie asked a girl out. And that was it.
All stitched up.
That was it. And then 20 series on, they have to end the episode with a busload of people flipping over in an implausible way and people falling off roofs and implausible gangs, and it was just ridiculous.
Just ludicrous, man. I mean, like that scene when the car hit the bus and the bus flipped over. Now, they were in a parking lot, so the car couldn't have been going that fast. Now, in real life, what speed does a car need to go to flip a bus over? Doctor Who don't even do shit like that, man.
Martin, did you enjoy it?
I'm in a bit of a sticky situation because I know half the people involved. You know, like
Really?
I will know.
Oh, well, here comes an unbiased answer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's hard to be good in Casualty. And I was in Casualty years ago in an episode, and it was.
Yes, I know you were, Martin.
It's not easy. It's not easy to be good in it. It's like you're auditioning on camera, sort of thing, and you try and do all your acting in every scene, and it is a sort of. It's like a spider's web trap to come and lure you in to do your worst acting of your life.
Don't you...
That's my excuse.
Don't you think that, well, we might have a look at that?
Please, God, let's not.
Now, Casualty prides itself on the authenticity of its medical scenes, which is odd when every other aspect of the show is about as realistic as a lemonade gazelle. Take a look at this thrilling moment from the finale when the hospital was struck by a sudden outbreak of implausibility.
I told the police. They're on their way. They know that Reese killed Ryan and they know that you killed Reese.
No. You shouldn't have done that. You really shouldn't have done that!
Callum, mate, what are we doing?
We're tearing this place apart. Come here!
Trying to play the hero? Hey! I'm talking to you!
Astonishing stuff. That was a scene from Badly Written Thugs Do the Funniest Things.
It was a stupid scene because what happened was the mom was laying there in the bed and she's like, I've told the police on you. And he's like, well, in that case, then I'm gonna destroy this hospital. And then they will know not to arrest me.
There was a nice moment where one of them smashed a bowl of sweets. Yeah. Take this, sweets! Bringing joy to children! Casualty includes lots of scenes where mollycoddled stage school actors have to play working-class toughs. Here's a typically persuasive sequence featuring council house salt-of-the-earth types.
Look, mate, what are we doing here? This is a joke. Michelle thinks the medical disaster thing will be good for her course. She's training to be a nurse, for God's sake. Not joining a Médecins Sans Frontières. What? Well, they're like the Red Cross, but French.
Yes, that was utterly convincing. Matt D'Angelo there as Tom with his mate Woodsy. Tom is short for Thomas and Woodsy, of course, is short for wooden actor. I think what they were doing there is, in the Casualty universe, only working-class people are allowed to smoke. And so they were sort of having to sit... They didn't look like they'd smoked a cigarette in 10 years, because they were sort of smoking it like that. There's a technique you have to use to smoke like a commoner. It's that. I think it's because telly people think that you've got to be ready to stub it out in someone's eye during a pub fight. Now, you lot are all sort of middle-class telly types.
How dare you?
Well, yeah, you are. So I want to test out your smoking skills. I'm going to give you each a cigarette. And I'm going to ask you each in turn to show how you would smoke it like a commoner. Okay.
Throwing us cigarettes.
I'm going to do you each.
Okay.
OK. You don't know you're not allowed to light it.
Oh. We're not doing it.
What are you, a maniac?
Calling us middle class.
Wow, it really did get middle class here, didn't it?
Yeah.
If you'd like to show me how you would smoke that.
First, what I would do is I would split this open. And then I would put it into another wrapper and smoke it like that because I'm creative.
Lisa, give me your best working-class, salt-of-the-earth smoking. Bond with Woodsy. I saw that Lock Stock at the weekend. It was a real slice of life.
Boy,
That's it? Perfect. That's a...
Rather trained.
Martin.
I'd probably go for the sailors one, that, in order to...
That's the sailors one?
Yeah, so bombers don't see your cigarette on the ship.
Nice.
But wouldn't they hear you going, oh, my fucking hand?
That's quite good, actually. I've learned something.
That is, I would say, for teaching us a fact, I'm going to give you a point.
Hurrah!
That's the way it works.
Wait a minute. Wait. You gonna give him a point for that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Really. So what I got to do to get a point, man? I ain't seen no points next to my name here.
And I think we all know what that's about.
Hey! Right, OK. Moving on. Speaking of middle-class people acting like tearaways, here's another example from a 1998 episode of Casualty featuring a familiar face.
Look, Ricky, just settle down.
I want to talk to my mate, that's all right?
This needs to come out of here, so I'm going to call the surgeons.
Surgeons?
Yes, Martin Freeman made that character his own in theatrical circles. People still talk of Martin's portrayal as the definitive man with crowbar in thigh. How was that for you, Martin?
Well, at the time, it was my biggest thing I'd done on telly, so I took it very seriously. You know, I took it like it was my gig. I sort of thought I'd be walking up Bethnal Green High Street next day with everyone going, "It's him." Funnily enough, they weren't.
Who do you think Casualty actually appeals to? I bring this up because I have a theory. I think it appeals to what I term the mainstream psychopath, which is the sort of person who reads magazines like this. It's the strange juxtaposition of bland smiliness and abject horror. I don't know if you can see that. Look, there's smiley face there, smiley face, and above it, the world's most shocking murders. It's lovely, isn't it? And then down here, it's always full of horrific medical conditions. Look at this. My girl lived on 1 carrot a day, and just in case you can't tell that she's thin, as it says there, bones like raisins. Now the material in this, if you put this in a scrapbook, you'd be arrested. Lunatics. OK, now, Casualty often features gory moments. It often seems to have been written by a risk assessment officer undergoing a breakdown. But we found out the statistical odds of having some unusual casualty-type accidents, so let's test your nose for danger. Reg, this is for you. What were you pointing at me for?
I was just saying, go ahead, man.
OK, all right. Okay.
Hey, man, you know, it's your show, man. Maybe you ought to relax.
All right. Yeah, you're more likely to be injured by a high-voltage cable or some blue tack.
I would say high-voltage cable.
Well, no, the answer is blue tack. In the most recent figures, 308 people were injured by blue tack in 1 year, but only 103 were injured by a high-voltage cable. OK. Martin, do you think you're more likely to be injured by a lawnmower or some slippers?
OK, I would say a lawnmower. Got it, because there's a fucking great blade in it.
What you've done there is given me a sensible answer as opposed to the real one, born out of the cold, hard facts. The correct answer, I'm afraid, is slippers. Lisa, are you more likely to be injured by a goat or some biscuits?
I'm tempted to say goat, sure I am. But I'm going to say biscuits because of choking.
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. The correct answer is biscuits. Lovely stuff. Well, at the end of all of that, I can reveal that Martin and Lisa are in joint lead.
Wow.
Sorry, Reg.
It's cool, man. It's cool. I'm sure nobody in this room is surprised.
Right. Go to the website to find out more details about what we'll be looking at in TV Club next week. See me after the break, when we'll be looking at the most extreme cookery show in the world and abusing Jamie Oliver. Welcome back. Now, cookery provides TV with the most basic narrative of all. The chef cuts something up, puts it in a pan, stirs it, whops it on a plate and eats it. As stories go, it's not Shakespeare, although it is astronomically advanced by Emmerdale standards. That's why TV channels around the world have gone out of their way to zhuzh the heck out of cookery, and sometimes they end up over-seasoning it. Let's have a gawp, yeah?
TV chefs are popular everywhere, from the mumsy, welcoming coziness of Delia Smith to the angry, shouty uncoziness of Gordon Bloody Ramsay.
Stop bringing me shit!
Culinary expertise is a shortcut to stardom. Although it's not good enough to just chop some mushrooms like old Pillow Tongue's doing here. No, these days every chef and cookery show has to have a gimmick, especially overseas. Take Iron Chef America, the US Food Network's bombastic gladiatorial cookery show.
Whose cuisine reigns supreme? This is Iron Chef America.
Unlike boring British programmes, it takes place inside an almighty kitchen stadium for reasons beyond the realm of normal human understanding. Iron Chef is based on a Japanese show, which becomes apparent fairly quickly the moment the unhinged host starts unnecessarily backflipping around and shouting.
Our cuisine! change!
Each week, a challenger takes on one of the in-house Whiskinators in a bid to see who's going to be crowned King of the Kitchen.
2 minds, 2 hearts, 2 passionate and sensitive souls on the line.
This being an extreme challenge, the chefs have to fight over a different weekly mystery ingredient introduced in preposterous style by the maniac. Then it's a fairly straightforward competitive cook-off narrated like a sports event.
I am being told now the chef has indeed cut his finger.
Although to spice things up, they often throw in an ostrich egg or a flashy preparation technique before finally facing the judges in a MasterChef-style finale. Oh, stop nodding, that's not very extreme. Go on, kick their heads off, kill someone. Be a man!
Iron Chef there. Can I say how refreshing it is to just see quality ingredients cooked simply in a stadium full of lasers? Martin, what did you make of this particular show?
I liked it. I liked
Why?
it. Because it knew it was camp, and I think it knew it was silly, and it had a tongue in its cheek, I think.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like Ready, Steady, Cook if it had been directed by Michael Bay.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Loser.
I resented it. I was exhausted by it. And
You
I thought it was the
resented it?
biggest load of bollocks I've seen for ages. And I wonder whether it's completely devised by men who are possibly on cocaine and have strapped every gimmick you possibly can to this irritating programme that I would only watch because you made me.
I didn't really care for it, but I don't really care for cooking programs. But you can tell that that show was conceived probably at a party in L.A. somewhere where somebody went, you know what would be good?
I love you.
I don't know what. A super fast show about cooking where you have 3 or 4 motherfuckers cooking at the same time. And there be laser beams and lights and stuff. What you think? I think that would be excellent.
Yes, the way the challengers are introduced in Iron Chef is about as understated as King Kong chucking a bus through a coin factory. Here's a glimpse of a familiar face amongst all the pomp.
In mere moments, one Iron Chef will be pitted against our challenger. The chairman welcomes Chef Jamie Oliver.
Chef Oliver, welcome. You come from London, where they drive on the left side. So will you be disoriented by the right-handed configuration of Kitchen Stadium?
Chairman, I'm a very safe driver, but when I've gone abroad, I've crashed cars twice. I hope it doesn't happen tonight.
Me too. And now, let the battle begin!
Were you impressed by the way Jamie Oliver conducted himself there?
I feel embarrassed for British people. It just looked ridiculous, man.
Jamie Oliver walking along like that, he knows he's in a fucking panto. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't really think, this is serious.
Anyway, in each episode, the chefs are given a secret ingredient to cook with, which is revealed in characteristically extravagant fashion. Take a look at this.
There is one more ingredient to this battle. Our secret ingredient. The theme on which our chefs will offer their succulent variations. Today's secret ingredient is... potatoes!
Astonishing stuff there. I haven't been that excited by a vegetable since I was working as an orderly. And for legal reasons, that anecdote must end there. Did you find that added to the experience, the way they'd introduced
No, it's just
the
another
vegetables?
bloody tag-on. I was just exasperated by the whole experience, Mr. Brooker.
OK, I want you to take a close look at this next clip from a 2007 episode of Iron Chef and tell me if you notice anything unusual about it. Watch very carefully.
And it seems the judges preferred the beating they received at the hands of avant-garde gastronomer Omar Cantu and his merry band of laser-wielding cryogenic uber geeks.
Seemed like a perfectly ordinary scene from a television programme, but did anyone spot anything unusual? Anyone? None of you. So I noticed some people in the audience definitely noticed something. Let's... This isn't interactive. The answer was there was a flash frame of a McDonald's logo in the middle of that. It looked like this. Let's have another look.
Avant-garde gastronomer Omar Cantu and his merry band of laser...
Are they still allowed to do that?
No.
God, really fancy a burger.
A remarkable piece of television there. Sinister, some might say. McDonald's are the sponsors of Iron Chef. Whilst it might look like subliminal advertising, the show and McDonald's said it was just a glitch, which was removed from all further repeats. And who am I to argue with their explanation or lawyers? It's disturbing how a quick glimpse of something can alter your behaviour without you being aware of it. Just the other day, I was watching Deal or No Deal when there was a very brief shot of Noel Edmonds, and I suddenly had an overwhelming urge to run to the shops and buy a massive arsehole. All right, Jamie Oliver is the king of crusade cookery in the UK with school dinners and Ministry of Food. There's a Japanese man called Masaki Sumitani who's also tried to get kids to change their eating habits. How do you think he did it? Martin.
Torture.
No, I don't think the Japanese are quite that mean.
Tell that to my uncle.
These days? The answer is he calls himself hard gay. And what he does is quite remarkable, as you'll see now. Utterly staggering. That's the most offensive, heavy-handed gay stereotype I've seen since Alan Carr took me to see Bruno.
I like the way when I said torture and you went, no, they don't do that anymore. Like, no, the Japanese don't do anything wrong anymore. What the fuck is that? What is that?
It's
no,
actually...
That's fine, they're fine now. Are they?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's actually part of an entertainment show. In Japan.
All right.
It's
entertainment.
But he did genuinely do that to encourage children to try different types of food. If you did that in Britain, you would just be watching that, wondering how he was going to make it off the estate alive. Disgraceful. Sometimes it's not just ideas and formats that get taken to an extreme when they appear on TV abroad. Take Gordon Ramsay. He's pretty feisty on our screens, but look what happens when he goes to America. Here he is being outrageously confrontational on the US kitchen nightmares.
No, I'm not cutting no bullshit. I'm telling you how it is.
Fucking answer.
Okay? All right?
Okay.
All right, good. Your menu is not better than mine. You know?
You're a donkey.
My food been voted best chef in Ventura County.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Don't push with the
you
finger.
Put your fucking hands up here. Listen to me. You run a shithole of a kitchen. Fuck yourself.
No.
Okay?
No.
Fuck off. Who the fuck are you to turn around and tell me when you work like a pig? You French pig!
You're not happy?
I'm fucking happy!
You can get out.
Go on.
You can get out.
Fuck yourself.
You can get out. It's my fucking kitchen.
Yeah, is it? Well, it's your fucking kitchen and clean it, you lazy
No!
Yes. The lovely Gordon Ramsay. That was extraordinary. Still, whatever people say about Gordon Ramsay, I've learned a lot from him. Just yesterday, I went into the kitchen and cooked a pigeon breast with roasted fennel while shouting directly into my girlfriend's face for 2 hours. Lisa, what do you think of Gordon's behaviour?
I find that might have been a bridge too far for Gordon, that one.
But when you see him interviewed, though, he's really polite and really demure and very sort of humble, has a lot of humility. And so I think it is a bit of an act, and I think sometimes you just don't buy it when he's doing all that.
Reg, what do you make of that?
I have a secret fantasy of, like, working in the kitchen of his, and he say, make a bologna sandwich. And then I go ahead and I make it with turkey instead, and then I just wait for the motherfucker.
That would be a brilliant show. That would be a brilliant show. They could genuinely do that, a setup. Ramsay's Kitchen Comeuppance. Amazing. Well, look, at the end of that, Lisa and Martin are level pegging. Now, what happens when you put a group of young show-offs in a house and set them tasks, then follow their every move with cameras? Well, you either get a hit, like Big Brother, or a flop, like Big Brother. BBC Three has recently come up with its own spin on the youth-oriented Chimps Tea Party format. It's called Young, Dumb and Living Off Mum, and it looks like this.
If, like any sane citizen, you hate young people twice as much as the Nazis, then Young, Dumb and Living Off Mum is just the show for you. The idea is simple. Take a bunch of spoilt fetal flesh bags, so baby-faced the cast of Skins would worry whether they were legal or not, plop them in a house together and watch them turn it into a shithole.
That's disgusting.
Then get their parents to set them some basic job-emulating tasks in the hope that they'll fail and look like absolute twats.
Stop!
After a couple of days of that, they'll wind up fighting like cats in a bag.
You're nothing. You're a dirty animal.
Each week, their mummies and daddies watch tapes of their shenanigans and weep for their own lax parenting skill. Thus chastened, they set about deciding which of their immature kids is the least grown up, and the loser is accordingly sent home. It's basically Big Brother meets The Apprentice minus any semblance of logic, and instead of proving their business acumen, they're attempting to prove they're capable of mingling in the adult world, which, being 9-year-olds, they're clearly not.
You're such a freaking liar!
Oh, go tidy your hormones or something, you child.
I'm a bit worried by this programme. It sort of highlights the need for proper parenting more than anything else. And then you start, by about episode 2 or 3, because obviously I was gripped, you start to be slightly worried about the fact that one of the worst offenders is actually 25, probably just a bit dim and lazy.
I'm not saying these people aren't idiots. I'm sure they are probably medical idiots. but we all like to sit in judgment, and we all like to think there's someone worse and worse off than us.
Are you saying it's easy to judge them?
Yes.
Because that's what I'm about to do. Now, as any miserable, ugly old man can and indeed is currently telling you, pretty young people are good for nothing. Let's have a look at some of the young, dumb inmates' more remarkable moments of incompetence.
It's going. This is washing my clothes for me. Yeah.
So that one is that one. That one, you see the dot is that one. And you press it down. So do it for me. Twist, press down, and twist. Twist, no, twist. Right, it's done. No, back again.
We've run out of hot water, Sean.
How is that possible?
I don't even know.
Hot water, it lives forever.
I don't understand how hot water works then. Like, what makes it hot?
I think I've learned something new every day since I've been here. Has it stopped? Oh.
There was something strangely charming about their naivety.
I felt slightly ashamed that no one had taught her. Or, you know, that Mum hadn't taken to one side and gone, this is how you roast a chicken.
That's essentially it. We're put in a position to dislike and jeer these kids, but they have been ill-equipped by these parents. And the parents get back to sit back and judge and go, she so bad. Yeah, she just, ooh, I don't know what to do. Just you, lady. We need to get a camera and follow your dumb ass around for her.
OK. As we've seen, the participants are fairly useless at everything, and they also come out with some remarkable things. We've picked some choice moments. I want to see what you can remember about the way they behaved. Dina, she went to work as a chambermaid in a hotel. Can you remember how she upset her colleagues?
Oh, yeah.
Lisa?
She called the lady who was showing her how to make a bed a slave.
Well done, Lisa. You're absolutely right. Let's take a look.
Does someone have to iron them bed sheets?
The scent of the laundry.
Do you like making beds? How many beds do you make a day? She's like your slave.
She's not. She's not a slave. I think that was the wrong word you used.
No.
What about that woman's voice coming in after she said it? Who's the...
She's not a slave.
Oh.
Well, you're like, Christ, who's in there? Someone's in the wardrobe.
Right, next question. I want you to have a look, a little clip of Danielle talking about something, and see if you can tell me what has traumatised her.
It was absolutely horrible, and I'm really tired, and I feel ill now. It's really stressful, and I don't know how my mum does it.
Is she the same one who called the person a slave, or is that a different person? But the one who had a big wig on there?
No, she was different.
Okay.
She's got 4 different types of hair extensions. Yeah, she looks like she's run drunk through a wig factory. Basically. Anyway, can you remember what it was that caused her a problem? Reg?
She saw some feces in the toilet.
No, she did do that at some other point. That wasn't just a random guess. No, she did do that at one point. No, I'll give you a clue. It's something that she said. It's something her mother does. Involved stocking cupboards. Reg?
Her mama left some feces in the toilet.
No! It was a simple trip to the corner shop. They'd gone shopping. Can you remember what they bought? Laser.
Yoghurt, wine and a Glade plug-in.
Correct! Yes. Yes, they came back with 8 yoghurts, 1 bottle of vodka, 2 bottles of wine, 2 bottles of port and an air freshener. Actually, it sounds disgusting, but if you gave that to Heston Blumenthal, he could genuinely turn it into a lasagna. Well, at the end of that, I can tell you that Lisa is in the lead. See you after the break. Hello, viewer. Welcome back. Now it's time for our final quick-fire round, and this week our secret ingredient is... question! Anyway, without further ado, can we have a tense quiz show noise, as per tradition? Fingers on buzzers here. OK, first question. A 9-year-old boy recently got lost while on a family camping trip in the wilds of Utah, but what TV show did he claim helped him survive? Marty.
Lost.
No.
Gordon Ramsay's cooking experience.
Afraid not.
He cussed out the animals. Get the fuck away from me!
I love that answer, but no.
Ray Mears Goes Walkabout.
No, but that's nearly right.
Oh, do I have to say Bear Grylls, because it wasn't Ray Mears?
You're right. It was Bear Grylls, born survivor. He's known for surviving the wilderness, using whatever comes to hand, even if it's just come out of an animal's bum. Let's take a look at a particularly appetising moment.
This means there's definitely bears in the wood. This is the sort of poo they do, big pile all in one. And you can actually see here what they've been eating. If you had nothing else to eat out here, in the extreme, you could actually eat this. You know, all you need to do, give it a bit of a rinse down. And that basically is going to be okay to eat. Pretty sharp. A bit like somebody's got your apple core and smeared it in a dog poop.
Lovely. I liked the way that he went in extreme circumstances. Obviously, I'd eat this. It's disgusting. Oh, a bit more.
But that didn't look like real poo to me, though. It looked like somebody had left a cake out in the rain. I know a song about that.
OK, next question. Golden Balls is ITV's most bafflingly strange game show, but can any of you explain any of the rules? You can guess.
I read them, you know.
Where did you read them?
In Jasper Carrot's downstairs loo.
Really?
No.
Oh, no. Well, I don't know. Well, to be fair, the answer is that none of us can, because it's utterly unfathomable. So let's go over to Jasper Carrot to lucidly explain the rules of just one of its many, many rounds.
But first and foremost, we have to play bin or win. What happens is you both take it in turns to pick a ball to bin and then one to win. The ball that you pick to bin goes out of the game altogether, whether it's one of those 2 killer balls or if you pick the £47,000 ball to bin, it's out of the game and you've lost it. You then pick a ball to win. The ball to win goes into these top golden 5 slots here, and the 5 golden balls will make up your jackpot total for the end of the day. Now, if you're choosing cash, that's great. But if or when you choose a killer ball to go into a winning slot, it effectively knocks a naught off your combined total. So if you pick the £47,000 ball there, then you pick the killer, it goes down to £4,700. Right?
Yeah. Considering there's £47,000 hanging in the balance, they look bloody bored. Yeah, whatever, yeah. Get on with it. Right, all right, fingers on buzzers. Here's another question. Where on television might you find a rectum tree?
Casually.
No! You might find somebody with their rectum caught on a tree.
Big Brother.
Well done. Yes, that's the right answer.
Hey, well played.
That was according to Isaac, the Big Brother housemate who walked out on Friday. He said there's a rectum tree planted outside the house and arseholes keep falling off it and ending up in here. He was absolutely wrong to say that, of course, because everyone knows they're actually fired into the house from a cock fountain. End of the show! End of the show! That is the end of the show. And at the end of the show, I can reveal that Lisa is the winner.
Hooray!
Don't forget to go to the website to get more information on the shows we'll be talking about next week. Now go away.
This Friday at 10, and from Terry Wogan to Derren Brown's younger brother, no one's free from the parody in nature of the Kevin Bishop Show. It's the In-Betweeners next, though.